Hi everyone, this is video one. I'm kind of gonna start like a breastfeeding blog, I guess you would say. Um, I was very fortunate, and I have a lot of women who support me, and I can like post on Facebook at like 3 in the morning and have answers back in like 20 minutes. It's truly amazing. But without their help, I probably would have never made it. A lot of you moms out there really want to breastfeed and think it's so, oh, you know, it's going to come natural to me. I don't need any help. No, not the case. I would seriously recommend you attend some breastfeeding classes or talk to someone who you know has had successful breastfeeding. Um, First off, breastfeeding should be painless. Your nipples do kind of have to go through this toughen up period, but in no way should it be extremely painful. You shouldn't crack, you shouldn't bleed. And for me, a big one was your nipples should not be flat. So let me tell you about our journey. I actually go back to work this weekend, and we're going through this like new learning experience because for the first 6 weeks of her life, she was tongue and lip tied. And not many people know about it, and not a lot of the doctors in this area, well, in fact, none of them really dealt with it or knew about it. And I'm not talking about, the simple tongue tie where you can see it at the top of their tongue. This was a posterior tongue tie, which, if you can see where I'm pointing, is right back there, is when the tongue tie doesn't release all the way, it just kind of goes midline. And most doctors are like, oh, that's a normal frenulum, but it's really not. Anyway, and the lip tie, it goes from the very, very tip to the very, very tip of the gums, like right here. And it can cause their lips from flanging out. So not only do you have the poor sucking from the posterior tongue tie, you can't get a deep latch because the lip doesn't flange out. Most new moms don't know about this or even know where to even go to get it evaluated. I would seriously talk to your pediatrician and try to see if they can refer you somewhere, like a specialist or something, just to get a second opinion. My pediatrician told me she did have a lip tie, but it shouldn't affect anything. So I went for a second opinion, and they were like, oh yeah, she's severely tied. So when we got that fixed, like literally 2 days ago, our lives changed drastically. Like, I'm telling you, we went through, I don't know how many 6-hour power nursing because she couldn't suck good enough to get the milk. So, and thankfully I was able to be off work and had the patience to just sit there with her for those 6 hours and switch boobs every 15 minutes. It got tiring. So you can imagine my relief after we got the tongue and lip tie revised when she drained my engorged breast in like 10 minutes. I was like, are you sure she's okay? So it was a big milestone for us. They also recommend something called craniosacral therapy. Since she did go a month, with the tongue and lip tie, her muscles kind of got tense, and we're kind of dealing with some muscle memory issues right now. But it is 10, no, not even 10, 100 times better than what it was before. She's sleeping a lot better. She's not crying every 10 minutes, like, feed me, feed me. She actually is happy and smiling now, and it is amazing. But some of you moms who think you might have a supply issue, it couldn't really, it may not really be a supply issue. It could simply be that your little one is just tongue and lip tied and you don't know it, and he or she is not getting enough milk. Which they did tell me if I would have let the problem go on for about 2 more weeks, I could have lost my supply. Because your supply kind of figures itself out by 8 or 9 weeks, and right now she's 6 weeks. So it's kind of good that I caught it early on, so maybe I can kind of power pump and, build my supply up. That way I can, 1, make a stash for work, and 2, help satisfy her needs. I actually had to pump today while I was in class, and I pumped every 4 hours, and I did actually get 4 ounces. So it's about an ounce an hour, which is what they say when you go back to work, they should get roughly about an ounce to 1.5 ounces an hour. But yeah, that's just a little bit so far on our breastfeeding journey, and I hope to gain a lot more knowledge so I can help people out there like me and provide them some encouraging support, that like I had for those moms who don't have the ability to reach out and talk to someone they know that has breastfed. But if you guys ever have any questions or what have you, I'm kind of new to this YouTube thing, so I'm going to try to figure it out. But if you leave something in the comments, like something that you're dealing with, or you're like me, you're sitting there for 6 hours power nursing and you just want some words of encouragement, it does get better. There are like huge lights at the end of the tunnel, and I'm here for you guys. Just remember, I am learning too. So, yeah, just keep on keeping on, doing what you're doing, and I will see you all later.